Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel. I say our channel, but I am the only one here again. So you guys are stuck with me, but we'll have a great time, so don't even worry about it. So tonight I am going to talk about Ladies Who List Atlanta, Season 1, Episode number 5. So we begin this episode where we left off last week, where Robin and Kiana had just worked out their issues, and then they moved on to Robin and Kiara. And so Robin, weighs Kiara in, and before Kiara could even step into the room, Robin started firing shots at her, saying that, yeah, let her come in, let the little brain come in, and we'll have our talking session or something like that, which I thought was pretty funny, even though it was really mean. And Kiana wasn't trying to hear it. She stuck up for her friend Kiara right away and say, no, she doesn't have a little brain. So she was being a friend, because that's what a friend would do, stick up for their other friend. So Kiara comes in and sits down, and then, Kiana, it plays, like the mediator, and she tries to get them to, talk to each other without arguing. And then Kiara starts talking first. And to be honest with you, I don't even know what Kiara was talking about, because she was going on and on and on. It's like, wah, 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 wah. And it's like when someone's doing that, you're just in your head, thinking, okay, what am I going to respond? Regardless of whatever they're saying, let me just think of what my response is going to be. And I think that's what Robin did. And Robin, once Kiara stopped talking, Robin was gracious, and she said, I want to ask for your forgiveness for what I did, because I didn't realize how people your age love Instagram and how important Instagram is to you, and what unfollow means, and how devastating, not really, how devastating it is. And I didn't realize that. So I want to offer you, I want to ask for your forgiveness. I'm not going to apologize. And I think she just didn't want to say, I'm sorry. So she was asking for forgiveness instead. And she was saying that, someone can apologize and not really mean it, but I'm taking it a step to the next step and asking for you to forgive me for not knowing how important Instagram is to you. And which I thought was pretty big of Robin. And, next you would expect Kiara to apologize for her behavior, because she was saying some like really mean things. And she was saying stuff that they didn't even air during that episode, because they gave us little clips of all the stuff that she started to say, that she was saying that night that they hadn't aired before. So there was a lot that we didn't know about. And you would think that Kiara would, take note of what Robin did and then do the same, but she wasn't trying to hear it. She wasn't trying to apologize at all. And she still was making it seem like it was Robin's issue. And Robin was trying to point out, but that it's both of us. And Kiana was also saying it wasn't just one-sided, it was both of you guys. But Kiara still couldn't bring herself to apologize. And it kind of shows you the difference between an experienced person and an inexperienced person, and the maturity level. So, like Robin always says, Kiara has some growing up to do, which she does, and hopefully she'll get there soon. So then they kind of ended on a note where we'll be cordial to each other, we'll be acquaintances, but we're not at a friendship level at all. And they both agreed to it. And they're like, yes, we can move on and be nice, but not fake. And let's go with that. And so they went out and they all took a group picture, which is also so important. And they laughed because Kiana was like, oh, we're so fake. And they all started busting out laughing, which was cute. So then we move to what is my favorite part of the show, is showing of all these beautiful homes. And so Tiana, who is seems like an excellent realtor, she was showing a modern house or contemporary. She called it both modern and contemporary. And I was like, well, what's the difference between the two? Because to me, they seem like the same thing. So I looked it up for me and for you guys. And a modern home is a home that's modern to the times. So it's whatever's modern at that time, that's what that modern house is. And a contemporary home is always the same style. And it's usually a little bit like colder, starker, whiter, and it's more angular, where a modern home is also that, but it's modern for what's modern at that moment, that year or whatever. So that's the difference between the two. And I like them both. I like the stark, clean lines, white, not colorful, not a lot of wood, more marble, more steel, or even concrete. You know, that's the style I like. And that's kind of the houses that Tiana's been showing. So she was showing this beautiful home to, I think, Kiara Fox, who was a former NFL football player, linebacker, and he's won 2 Super Bowls, which is quite an accomplishment. And he seems really young, so he must have left the league at a young age. And he has several properties, which is, I'm always happy to see, you know, Black people getting into real estate, because that's really where the money is. And that's like, that's money that you pass on. Generational wealth is in real estate. So it's great that he learned young and he's doing that too. So they showed this beautiful home, and he really liked it, but it turns out it was out of his price range that he wanted to spend on a bachelor pad. And they have, I think this is something new, I haven't seen it. It's these huge swivel front doors. We saw it last episode and we saw it again this episode. And I'm all for that. That's beautiful. And I've never seen that before this show. And I've watched like a ton of real estate shows. So you always get to see something new, which is always fun. So we learned that he doesn't want that house at that price range. So Tiana is going to continue to look for a house for him. And she also got the owner to come down $50,000 to make the house more appealing to more people. And the house had been on the market for 30 days, which I didn't realize was like almost a death sentence in real estate. I guess it depends on the market, because you can see a house where I live longer than 30 days. Most of them are on there longer for 30 days and they still sell. So I guess it's a stronger market. 30 days is not a good thing. So then we go into next with Crystal and Kiara meeting again as like friends, which I don't buy for a minute. I think Crystal is just running a game on Kiara, trying to get her business and acting like she wants to be her friend, where she really just wants her client's money. So she sets up this fake friendship dinner and they start talking. And she even said, you know, last meeting was about business. This meeting is going to be about more friendship. And so she starts talking about dating, because they're both single. So that's probably the only thing they have in common. So she starts talking and saying that she's dating this guy that she used to date in middle school, and they reconnected, and he's into polyamory. And Kiara was shocked. I would have been shocked too. I was like, what? Polyamory is where you can be with multiple people, and it's not about gender. It's about how you feel about that person. So you can be within a relationship, you can be with a man and a woman, or 2 men or 2 women. And it's just about an open relationship with different people at one time. And he, I guess, had asked Crystal if she would be into polyamory. And she didn't really say that she would or she wouldn't, but he invited her to a polyamory party and she wants to go. And so she asks Kiara if she would want to go with her, which is quite a strange question to one, be asking to someone who you just started a friendship with. I mean, literally, this is your second time meeting up with them. And two, someone who you want to as a client. I mean, that seems really awkward. And Kiara was like, I'm not about that life. I have God in my life. I'm talking about, fasting and doing that type of thing. And you're talking about a whole different type of feasting. And I'm not into that. And so Crystal tried to talk her into it, and she just wasn't having it. And it ended like that. It was just surprising that Crystal even brought it up. But, it's like whatever floats your boat, if that works for you and your relationship, then that's what works. But I wouldn't be able to do it because I don't think I can handle someone else in the relationship. I think I would just be way too territorial, and it wouldn't end well for anybody. So that would be a hard no for me, just like it was with Kiara. So then we learn that Kiara is doing, their names are all so similar. I'm sorry, I keep on mixing them up. So then we learned that Kiana is killing it in the brokerage game. She has a bevy of agents underneath her. It seemed like she had at least 10 agents, which is fantastic, especially for a firm that's only been open for 1 year. So she's doing quite well. And she was announcing that she's going to celebrate her 1-year anniversary at a party at the Waldorf hotel. And so she seemed really excited about that. And she's inviting all of the girls who she expects to be on their best behavior. And I think that they will be, because there's going to be potential clients there. And, this isn't the Real Housewives. This isn't Love and Basketball. I mean, this isn't Love and Hip Hop or Basketball Wives. So I think hopefully that they will be more mature, but you never know, because that dinner was wild. So that they had their first get together. So, one thing I noticed, like during the interviews, all these ladies' outfits are like laid out. They have a great sense of style, from the hair, their makeup, their clothing. They look fantastic. So I'm wondering from you guys, who has the best style for you? Is it Tiffany? Is it Tiana, Kiara, Kiana, Robin, or Crystal? For me, the person whose style I like the best, like from her wigs, everything is always laid out. For me, it's Kiana. I think she always looks fantastic. And then because she's always elaborate, puffy sleeves, all these different beautiful colors, different cuts. And then the opposite of that, but she's more simple, but her style is still great, to me, is Robin. So both of them have a great sense of style. I like Kiana's is the top for me, and then Robin's style is next. So I just want to find out, let me know what you guys think. And then we move on to Kiana and her husband at a fertility doctor. This seems to be a problem for so many women, and it's so devastating when it happens to them, when they're not able to conceive when they want to conceive, especially if they're career oriented and they, pushed off having a baby because they wanted to focus on their career. And unfortunately, it's so hard for women to be able to do both. There's studies that show that when a woman goes on maternity leave, it sets her years back in terms of promotion and advancements at their job. And the same thing happened to me. I kind of got penalized for going on maternity leave from a boss, this was years ago, a boss who didn't understand what it is to be a mother and to take maternity leave. So this happens to so many women. So sometimes they forego having that baby at the beginning of their career until they're more established. And so, but unfortunately, you know, life doesn't work that way. You know, your biological clock doesn't wait for you. It keeps on ticking and going at its own rate, despite what you want to achieve. So if you wait too long, it's not impossible. So many women have babies in their 40s, but it just, in late 30s, but it just makes it so much harder. And so that's unfortunately what Kiana is going through, and her husband. And so it's, you know, great that she's bringing that to light. You know, these are some of the sacrifices you make for success. And she hopefully, you know, she went through a bad experience with her fertility doctor, where I guess they weren't like freezing her husband's or preserving her husband's sperm. And so when she was pregnant, or when they were getting ready to fertilize the egg with sperm, they didn't know whose sperm it was, it seemed like. And so she was like, no, stop it right now. Give us our money back. We're going elsewhere, which was very smart. And so I think they went to this doctor, and they're trying to see what they can do to start that process all over again. And that's a hard process. A good close friend of mine went through it, and it didn't take the first time, and it took the second time, but it's a lot mentally, physically, emotionally. It's a lot of stress, but of course it's worth it in the end when you're holding your baby. So hopefully that'll happen to them soon, but it's great that she shared that story with us. It's always great to know what's going on with these women's lives. So then we go to more showings of the house. We have Robin showing a past client's penthouse, Tim's penthouse, and it was gorgeous. It was definitely a bachelor pad, but he decorated it so well. And it was different. It was like long and skinny, but the way that he designed and decorated it, it looked fantastic. Like if I was married, even as a woman, I would love to live in that, that house, because it had kind of like an African motif to it. And it was kind of like dark colors, not your typical, you know, white, shiny, hard lines. This was like different type of lines. And I thought it looked fantastic. And she was talking to him about lowering his asking price because it had been on the market for 2 months, which is a long time. It's longer than a month. So, and he was open to it. He was like, yeah, we'll drop it to 900,000. So it'll be interesting to see. I hope that they go back and let us know what sells, what doesn't sell, what's still on the market, because I think that's an interesting part of the show. So then we go to Kiana's party, and everyone looks beautiful. Everyone's getting along. You know, Robin still has not talked to Crystal yet. And it seems like it's been like a month, and these best friends have not spoken to each other at all. And they're both gonna be at this party. So when we get to the party scene, you know, everyone's there except for Robin. Crystal's there. We haven't seen her at all. And then as they're talking, you know, Robin comes in with this like killer patent leather raincoat and, you know, patent leather dress and a scarf. I think scarves are coming back. I've been noticing more and more people with like little, you know, handkerchief scarves around their neck, and it looked really cute. And so she comes on in, and everyone, and even Kiara was like, hey girl, you know, they're all nice to each other, talking, kikiing. And then they asked Robin, you know, have you spoken to Crystal yet? And she's like, no. And they're like, well, she's here. And Kiana's like, I don't want you guys to talk because I don't want you messing up my party. And Robin is her own person. She beats to her own drum. She don't care what you think, what you have to say. She was like, no, I'm going to talk to her tonight. It's about time. And Kiana's like, okay, but you guys have to keep it classy because this is an expensive place and I don't want you guys tearing up the part. the place. So no, don't act like you acted at that dinner party. And Ron was like, no, it's going to be fine. We're going to handle it. So Tiffany and Kiara and Robin are talking. And then Crystal comes walking right past Robin. So it doesn't even look sideways, but she had to have seen her because this is Robin and this is Crystal. So as Crystal's walking, she had to have seen Robin, and she goes behind her and then greets Kiana. And so right now they're like back to side, like this, back to side. And so Tiffany and Kiara warn Robin, say, hey, she's right behind you. And then Robin's like, oh my God, I'm scared, which happens all the time. Like when there's someone you have to confront, a friend, and you don't really want to confront them, even though you want to confront them, you don't want to because you don't want to deal with all of the emotional BS and arguing, even though you're ready. And so she's like, oh, I'm scared. And so then they seem to both turn around at the same time. And they're like, oh, hey, a little bit of fake, but how else are you going to be? It's your best friend. And then they hug each other. And of course, it's the, oh, you look beautiful. I mean, have you guys noticed on like all of these reality TV shows, Housewives, Basketball Wives, Love and Hip Hop, especially the Housewives, every single city, they all say, oh my God, you look beautiful. No, you look beautiful. You look beautiful whenever they greet each other. They just can't say, hi, how are you doing? They have to compliment each other, which seems, a little fake, but could be real. But anyways, they greet each other. And then, can't remember what exactly Crystal says, but she says something that makes Robin say, oh, well, you should have said that or done that 28 days ago. And then Crystal's like, and she's like, why? Oh, how can I do that when you blocked me? And then Robin was like, no, I didn't block you by phone. And then Crystal says, what am I supposed to be doing? Chasing you after you like a penis? And I was like, ew. Like, what would make someone say chasing after you like you're a penis? I mean, that girl is so low class. I mean, that didn't even make sense. Like, why would that be what you would say? So it must mean that Crystal will be chasing after Dick all the time. Sorry to be so vulgar, but that's what she's saying, because that just doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, that was weird. And so that's when it ended. So next week, we get to see their confrontation. And it seems like it's calm. They don't go out of pocket. I think they might have started to get loud because they get up and then the next scene, we don't see them get up, but then the next scene is them outside. So I think they realize that, okay, we better take this outside so we don't embarrass ourselves. But it'll be interesting to see how they resolve it. Will they be friends? Will they be frenemies? Will it be fake? Will they still be business partners? Will she still go to her as her attorney? Who is she using her as her attorney now? Or has she not made any sales? So we don't know what's going on. Hopefully next week we'll find out. But that's all I have for tonight. I will see you again next Friday, where hopefully Ijama will be here. Even if she's not gonna be here, I'm gonna have a big poster of her sitting next to me. So it's gonna seem like she's here. So I'm not talking to myself, but I'm talking to you guys. So thank you for coming to our channel, and please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, turn on your notifications, and comment below. All right, everyone, have a good weekend. Bye.